Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those of you that's watching this discourse on live feed, locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted in the various groups subsequently from around the world. On 13th of February 2018, this land on which the Sri Narayan Dham is situated was in principle donated to myself by Mr. S. Narayan. A week later, on that weekend, I brought in devotees to inspect the land. This land was in a state of absolute darkness. Surrounding this Sri Narayan Dham were hundreds of trees, creepers, and bush. This house was barely visible from the road on either side. It was a haven for criminalities, and criminals used to use this place as a midpoint after the various criminal activities. This place had become the eyesore. The Sri Narayan Dham is situated in a valley like the bottom of a dish, and around the dish is civilization and houses. I'm describing this for those that are not acquainted with this place. And this is situated in Reservoir Hills, Durban, where hundreds of houses and residents would look down at the center of this dish or bowl and see a forest. This brought in negativity throughout the community. This was an eyesore. Whenever the community looked in this direction, their consciousness became negative. Today, the Sri Narayan Dham is the talk of the town. Everyone from around the rim of the dish is watching the Sri Narayan Dham. The entire neighborhood has started redesigning their gardens, painting their houses, and there is a sense of positivity that is permeating from the Sri Narayan Dham and reaching all the residents around. And this has been factually corroborated by the various pictures we have taken. Even tonight, whilst some parts of this area is in darkness, Sri Narayan Dham is glowing, is a glowing beacon in the midst of the load shedding that is currently taking place in this area. And the Sri Narayan Dham, just physically, with its physical presence, the cleanliness, the removal of the shrubs and dense bush, the creation of beautiful gardens and pathways and driveways, the painting and the renovation of a dilapidated building that housed about 20 home invaders. Now it has changed to this pristine ashram wherein I am seated and delivering this discourse. 1,000 years ago, the entire planet Earth was in the same condition. 1,000 years ago, the entire planet Earth was in the same condition. For Buddhism has spread in India, and when I say the earth, India is the soul of the planet Earth in terms of spirituality. And India herself, as the soul, was covered in ignorance. Buddhism was prevailing in India, atheism was prevailing in India, and Adi Shankara's trans-theistic ideology was prevailing in India. And this was a dense growth of negativity covering the soul of this planet Earth, our great Bharata, the land of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Ramanuj. And when the soul is ignorant, then the entire body becomes ignorant. When the soul is covered, then the body is covered as well in negativity. And you can imagine 1,000 years ago the state of planet Earth when there was no longer bhakti. Bhakti is devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if the soul, India, was in darkness, then what can be said of the rest of the world? A sliver of bhakti, continued through 1,000 years ago through the 12 Alvars, or the saints, and they contained and preserved the bhakti in the 4,000 poems in the Divya Pradhanams. And Lord Sri Ramanuj took his birth in this darkness. And he took this sliver of bhakti, he immersed himself, he soaked himself into the bhakti that was preserved through the 12 Alvars and handed to him. And he immersed himself in the Upanishads, the Vedas, the Brahma Sutras, and he became the confluence of both the Tamil Vedas, which is the 4,000 verses in the Divya Pradhanams, and the Sanskrit Vedas. And becoming this confluence, he became the fountainhead of the bhakti movement. He is the seed that was handed down from Alvar to Alvar, and from the great saints like Bodhihana, Dramida, Baruchi. And this seed that sprouted into this great tree of bhakti is none other than Lord Sri Ramanuj. He did not only sprout into a tree, he became the fruits of the bhakti movement, which was later dispersed around the world through various saints from the origin and the originator, Lord Sri Ramanuj. Lord Sri Ramanuj travelled for almost 20 years from the south of India right up to the Himalayas and back, planting one seed at a time. Everywhere he went, the seed of the bhakti movement of Sri Vaishnavism. And wherever roots of weeds tried to cover the seeds he planted, he would debate with the opposition, convincing that Sri Vaishnavism is the only absolute truth and reality as expounded in the Vedas. And he would win all of these debates, and he converted the length and breadth of India into the bhakti movement. Lord Sri Ramanuj is the origin, the fountainhead, the seed, the tree, and the fruit of the bhakti movement. In this travel that took him 2 decades, he passed through what is now called Odisha. And 900 years ago, a Matham was established called the Mr. Matham. Mr. is his cousin, named after his cousin. And this Matham through gross negligence of the historical fact and the historical and spiritual significance of this Matham, the Odisha government and the Puri administration wants to demolish this Matham. every Matham that was established by Lord Sri Ramanuj, whilst he was in his body 1,000 years ago, and subsequently all the ashrams that are in the Sri Vaishnavism Sampradaya is in the body of Lord Sri Ramanuj. All bona fide spiritual masters that have taken Diksha in the Sri Ramanuj Sampradaya is within the body of Lord Sri Ramanuj. And the Odisha government and the Puri administration need to take note that if they persist in demolishing this Matham, then they are injuring the body of the originator of bhakti. And it is through Lord Sri Ramanuj that today this entire planet Earth has Vaishnavism as its guiding light in almost every continent. It is Lord Sri Ramanuj that is the divinity that is prevailing in this Kali Yuga, in this 21st century. Everywhere you look, every heart that throbs with devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, behind the throbbing heart, the activator is Lord Sri Ramanuj. There can be no bhakti without Lord Sri Ramanuj. Lord Sri Ramanuj is the personification of bhakti to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we sit back and we allow the Puri administration and the Odisha government to demolish a fragment of Lord Sri Ramanuj, then we are bringing damage to our own souls. We are damaging our own souls because India has become vibrant. Whatever India is today, subtract Lord Sri Ramanuj. Subtract Lord Sri Ramanuj from India's current status today, and it would be a dark place, as dark as this land was when I acquired it on the 13th of February 2018. The sustenance, the survival, the heartbeat of India, behind that heartbeat, whether known or unknown, acknowledged or not acknowledged, stands Lord Sri Ramanuj. Whatever India is today, it is today because of Lord Sri Ramanuj. And whatever this planet Earth is today, it is today because of Lord Sri Ramanuj. He did not only make a difference in India, his difference is still permeating this planet Earth 1,000 years later. And it will continue to permeate this planet Earth until it is dissolved in 427,000 years' time. Up until then, it is the duty of every Sri Vaishnavite, whenever the body of Lord Sri Ramanuj is touched in any part of the world, we should get together and make sure we preserve and conserve the absolute truth in whichever way we can. India has some great saints currently at this point in time, notably Swami Chinnajayar, and he has the respect of the entire world. And I hope that this news reaches him in time. And I know he has capacity to stop this demolition. I was asked by a Sri Vaishnavite publicly from America to take action on this matter. And because I was asked to do so, I have presented this discourse today. The Sri Vaishnavism system is a well-disciplined system. Lord Sri Ramanuj had astute managerial skills, and he had thousands of devotees 1,000 years ago. At that point in time, disciples would leave the house and go and live with the Guru. And those of us that are currently practitioners of Sri Vaishnavism, we live our life with the same discipline. So it is not that I decided on my own to give this discourse today. I was asked to assist, maybe because I'm seen as an activist. I hope when this discourse reaches the relevant people, that action is taken in India, and Swami Chinnajayar Swami, I hope he get assisted by all the Sri Vaishnav, Sri Ramanuja ashrams from India. I met Chinnajayar Swami last year, this time in September. I was living at his ashram. And I'm spreading the teachings of Lord Sri Ramanuj from this space, not because it is something that I felt I must do. It's because I was advised specifically by Swami Chinnajayar to expound Lord Sri Ramanuja's Vishishadvaita. So we are well disciplined, we are well cognized, and I hope that the destruction of this Matham is stopped in time. Jai Srimad Narayan.
Jai Srimad Narayan.